On today's show, we talk the AFC South about how bad the division actually is. We got Inferno Thursday here on a Friday. And of course, we end every show with a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. But first.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, let's take a trip down memory lane. Back to, quote, the good old days of the NFL. Back when defenses didn't just stop a play, they ended it. When safeties patrolled the middle of the field like sharks in deep water and receivers thought twice before crossing the middle. You remember it, I remember it, and if you're like me, you miss it a lot. Back then, Monday Night Football just didn't start off on kickoff. The real fans tuned in way early. We tuned into ESPN for one reason and one reason only, the segment called Jacked Up. Week after week, we watched those highlight reels of pure punishment where players got lit up and we loved every second of this. Those hits, they just weren't a part of the game. They were the game. But look, I get it. The game has changed. It's safer now. The rules have evolved. Why? Because the NFL is a $1 billion machine at the end of the day. It's about protecting the investment. That means keeping the quarterbacks upright, the stars healthy, and the sponsors happy. Still, there's a part of us, every football purist, that if you're like me, change is always good. So tonight, we're going to talk about it. What do you miss most about the old NFL? Can today's game still bring that same fire without losing the players in the process? But until then, cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? And welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys. Your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk, guys. I'm so glad you are here with us today. But before we dive into today's action, guys, let me tell you a little bit about manhourradio.com. That is where you can grab all your exclusive merch, like this hoodie I got on right here. manhourradio.com, it's got it. You can check out our latest blogs and stay up to date on everything that is doing what we're doing over here at Man Hour. So, guys, if you are repping the Man Hour, that is a place to do it. Do not forget to hit the like button. Guys, share this with a couple of friends. And, of course, subscribe to the channel as well. It is the best way to stay connected with us and make sure you never miss a live, raw, uncut NFL show. But wait, there is even more. You can become a Pigskin Pundit. That's our members-only community where we give away free entry into all of our weekly NFL pick'ems, our giveaways, and exclusive merch. You also get extra live streams that are only our Pigskin Pundits get. So if you want the full Man Hour experience, join the squad today, guys. Hit the subscribe button down below and become a Pigskin Pundit. Now, guys, remember, this is a live interactive show, so make sure you comment down below because I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and your hottest of the hottest takes. We're all about conversation, so let's welcome some people in the chat. We got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. Pigskin Pun is man himself. Old Man River says TGIF. Thanks God it is Friday. Yes, Old Man River. Thank God it is Friday. It has been a long week over here. I'm sure you've had a long week as well. Hopefully, guys, you guys are having a good week. Then we got Yeti X in the house. It says, hey, what's up, Yeti? What's up? We got my man Derek says, what's up, man? What's up, Derek? Hope you're having a good day, brother. Derek, guys, is a Las Vegas Raiders fan, so, you know, Derek, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss for this upcoming season. I had to say I told you so, but I told you so. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Derek? What's up, old man River? But, guys, today we got a great show. We're going to talk the AFC South, the way too early NFL win-loss predictions. We got Inferno Thursday. With no more poop emergencies today, we got to go talk Internal Thursday. We want to end the show with a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. So, guys, this is a live interactive show, so be sure to comment down below, and let's keep the conversation going all night long. So, without further ado, guys, let's dive into the AFC South, and let's talk about the way too early NFL picks. And that is where we're going to start. Right there off the bat, we're going to start with the Tennessee Titans. Guys, the Tennessee Titans had the number 1 overall pick. They drafted the man, the myth, legend, Cam Ward, but they still got a lot of holes in their roster. And guys, let's just be frank, the Tennessee Titans are not very good. So weeks 1 through 4, guys, I think the season is a loss right off the bat. It is slipping away from Sean Payton's squad is back, is in Denver, and it is back on track. The altitude, the defense, and the road start, it all stacks up against the Tennessee Titans in this week number 1. I don't care if Cam Ward is the quarterback. I don't care if Will Levis is the quarterback. It is a loss in Denver. And then week number 2, they're back at home. LA Rams coming to Nashville, and with the speed and explosiveness, guys, the Titans are they just don't have that much firepower. That is the biggest issue with the Titans, is they don't have that firepower. It's another loss. Week number 3, divisional games are always gritty, but Indianapolis got the better roster as of right now, and the Tennessee Titans fall to 0-3 to start the season. And then week number 4, they have yet another divisional loss. CJ Stroud is looking like a top quarterback in year 3, and the Titans get outclassed here, giving us a 0-4 start the season. It's not pretty, and it's not going to be surprising. They got a young roster, new leadership, and tough opponents out of the gate. I think the first 4 weeks, 0-4. It is what it is. But then weeks 5 through 9, it doesn't get much better. The free fall continues. Week number 5, they travel to Arizona, and that is yet another loss. Even though Arizona is rebuilding as well, they've got a lot more stability right now, and the Titans drop yet another one. And then week number 6, they play the Las Vegas Raiders. They play your Las Vegas Raiders, Derek. They play your Las Vegas Raiders, Jim. They play your Las Vegas Raiders, Old Man River. 2 straight road trips is 2 straight more losses. Vegas isn't great, but they're better than Tennessee Titans. Let's just call a spade at the end of the day. And week number 7, they're back at home. Mike Vrabel taking on his former team. Mike Vrabel wants to put the pedal to the metal and pound that ass. And they do. The Patriots beat the Titans, and the Titans lose yet again. The Titans offense just struggling right now. The defense is struggling. The head coach is like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Cam Ward is like, I should have stayed in college. You guys should have drafted Shedeur Sanders. Like, it is terrible. Week number 8, they travel to Indianapolis. That is yet another loss. But now, the locker room morale is going to be tested. And this Colts team sweeps the Titans yet again. It is just, it is tough. It is tough. And then week number 9, they're back at home. Justin Herbert is still a top-tier quarterback. The Chargers are still pretty darn good. The Tennessee Titans defense doesn't have the secondary to hang. It is another loss. So we're at 0-9 heading into week 10 bye week. Not a single win on this board. If there's a silver lining here, it can't get much worse, right? Right? Yeah, slow it down, baby. Now, week 10, they do have the bye week. A little bit of rest, a little bit of regroup. Maybe the rest is the culture. Just something needs to happen. The second half of the season needs to start to show some fight. And if it doesn't, we're not going to see any wins at all. But week 11 through week 13, a breakthrough happens. Week 11, fresh off the bye week, they're at home playing the Houston Texans. Now, this is a loss, but they battle. They play well. Cam Ward starts to look like an NFL quarterback, and everything starts to click a little bit. And then week 12, they're back at home, taking on the Seattle Seahawks, and they finally get a win. Not only a win, it's a home game win. It's an emotional moment. It is, and a beatable Seattle team gives them the Titans' first win of the season. Sam Darnold, now going to be the man, the myth, the legend. Cam Ward finally gets his first win, and they are tearing up the streets in Nashville, but short-lived because week 13, Jacksonville Jaguars, and it is yet another loss. The Jacksonville Jaguars will be pursuing a divisional crown here, and there's not much room for the Titans to play. Spoiler here, they get that ass waxed. So one win in weeks 11 through 13, but it's at least something, right? They're sitting at 1-12. Fans need to see a development from the young guys moving forward. That is the goal from here on out. So to close out the season, they need to close with some pride. They need to figure themselves out. Can we be a little bit better? Answer to that question is no. Week 14, they travel to Cleveland and they get beat down by the Browns. This game could be over by halftime. The Browns defense is scary. The Browns offense is going to be scary in this game, especially in December. And then week 15, they travel to San Francisco. It is yet another loss. The 49ers are a contenders mismatch here. The San Francisco dominates in the trenches, and this game could be over by halftime as well. And then week 16, they play the best team in the NFL, the reigning the 3 out of 4 year Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. No explanation is needed here, right, guys? Mahomes versus a team that's in a rebuild mode, it just isn't fair, especially late in December. It is what it is. And then week 17, upset alert. Saints are coming into town, and the Titans dig deep and pull off a surprising home win over a vulnerable Saints squad. They may have just lost the first overall pick by being the New Orleans Saints here, but then week 18, they finally understand, hey, we are playing for the number 1 overall seed. Jacksonville Jaguars, a divisional rival, playoff spot on the line for the Jags. Titans do not stand a chance. So the final recap, guys, I think the Tennessee Titans will go 2-15. That's the call. It is a harsh season, but it's about laying the foundation for 2026. This team needs to hit on draft picks yet again. They need to move on from Will Levis 100%, trade him, do whatever they got to do, and they need to find the identity under pressure. The wins over Seattle and the Saints show there's some little bit of fight left in them, but not a whole lot. So, guys, let me ask you this question. What do you think? Are the Titans really heading to a 2-15 season, or is there a surprise run that we have not quite seen yet? So, guys, comment down below. As I said, this is a live interactive show, and I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with my predictions? Which game could flip the record? And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. And remember, we are live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at Man Hour NFL Talk. So join the conversation and see what is good. Old Man River and I must be on the same page. We're reading the same wavelengths, Old Man River. Of course you are, because you're a Pigskin Pundit.
Skin pun.
He says 2-15. I am with you, brother. I am with you on this 100%. Derek says, should the Titans try to grab Keenan Allen? No. No, they should not, and let me tell you why. Because despite the Titans being such a bad team, their wide receiver core is not that bad, right? They still have Burks. They picked up Tyler Boyd from the Bengals a couple years ago, and it just the receiving core. So the weapons on the Saints team are not Tony Pollard as well. And honestly, they're the biggest player. 3. Ooh, W hydration, guys. Get you some. W.GG, use promo code MANHOUR. Save yourself some that'll build you. Shane, low-key. What's up, Shane? He says the Titans have more talent than people think. They had a bunch of games with lost by 7 points or less, and I believe they win the AFC South. Whoa. Guys, Shane, slow it down before we're talking about championships, Shane. Let's worry about what Cam Ward can do before we start worrying about championships. Now, obviously, this is way too early win-loss predictions. OTAs have just started, right? We still have mini camp. We still have training camp. We still have preseason games all yet to happen. We still have June, July, and August. We have 3 months of growth from Cam Ward and that Tennessee Titan team. So, Shane, if we see growth from Cam, we will be revisiting. Do not overlook the Jaguars. That is all I'm going to say, is do not overlook the Jaguars. Now, the Titans could come up and shock some people. And Shane, throw the spaghetti at the wall and hopefully something sticks, right? But I think most of us are saying that they're going to be a losing team, like my man Real McCoy. He says that Titans will be 5-5-12. And I have to tend to agree, as of right now, as of May 23rd, 2025, at 9:22 East Coast time, I think they're just a really, really bad team. And then Shane wants to follow up and says the Colts have no quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is overrated, and CJ Stroud regressed last season from year one. The Titans have a chance. And Shane, you are not wrong. I believe the division is truly wide open. I do believe that the AFC South is wide open. Hell, we've had a poll, and everybody is picking the Texans or the Jaguars to win this division in a very, very bad division. And let's just be honest, the AFC South is probably the worst division in football. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just stating what I see. The NFC South is rivaling them, but the AFC South is pretty bad. So hell, like what Oliver says here, the Titans might go 7-10. And you know what? That 7 wins might win the division. I'm just saying, it might win the division. But right now, I got 2-15. Derek says, now that is a hot take. Derek, that is a very hot take. The Titans winning division is a very, very hot take. Because as Shane is right, they had a lot of one-score games last season. They also had a lot of holes to fill. They needed O-line depth. They needed defensive depth. They needed a quarterback. They had a lot of holes to fill. And as they did well in the draft, they really truly filled one of those holes. That's the quarterback position and Cam Ward. And that's still to be determined. Hell, Cam Ward may not even winning the starting position. Now, I'm just throwing shade there because Will Levis is my guy. But I'm saying, let's just see. Pepe, what's up, Pepe? Long time no see, brother. He says the AFC South is in bad shape. It is in bad shape. But you know what? If the AFC South quarterbacks come to play, if Trevor Lawrence finally lives up to his expectations, which I do agree with Shane, he is highly overrated. If Anthony Richardson and or Daniel Jones steps up and becomes a top 15 quarterback in Indy, they could be pretty good. CJ Stroud is on his way. He did digress a little bit last season, but you know what? The offensive line was terrible. We'll see what happens. And then if Cam Ward can be the man, the myth, the legend, the AFC South in 3 or 4 years, guys, could quickly become one of the best divisions in football. But we're here right now. The 2025 NFL season, they're in bad shape. They are bad. Miles and the Chronic. What's up, man? He says the Titans at best get 7 wins. So, Miles, I think that would be my ceiling for the Titans as well. Because they do have some winnable games. Like they will beat the Saints. They could beat the Browns. They could beat the Colts twice. They could beat the Jaguars once, right? The Raiders are not very good either. The Broncos are highly overrated, I think. So yes, they do have a lot of winnable games here. So I think their ceiling is 7, but the floor is also 2 wins, right? So either way, they're a losing team missing the playoffs. Shane's back in the chat, says the only reason why I say the Titans have a chance is because the division is weak, like you said. There we go. Yes, Shane. I think we're on the same page. Now, I'm not trying to say that the Titans got worse from last season. I think they've improved. But they still got a lot of holes to fill. Derek says, rest in peace to the Colts owner. Yes, Jim Irsay, rest in peace, guys. He passed away, Tuesday, I believe it was, maybe Wednesday. Yes, rest in peace to him. Definitely the whole Colts organization and Indianapolis, where I live right now, is definitely going to suffer without him being here. Old Man River says the Texans are going to win the South, more organized as a team. We'll get into the Texans next. Slow it down, baby. Oliver says the Colts look terrible. Likely a bottom 5 NFL team. We'll get into the Colts as well. The Colts are right after the Texans, so let's just slow it down, baby. And Old Man River says, let's see the Texans' schedule. You ask, and you shall receive. As CJ Stroud enters his 3rd NFL season with the expectations of a franchise on his back, and for a good team, the Houston Texans surprised a lot of folks the last couple seasons. But they are still building, and can they still build it on 2025? That is the question, right? Now, the schedule is stacked with playoff caliber opponents, divisional brawls, and a few chances to prove they belong with the AFC elite. But tonight, guys, we are going to go game by game, recapping the ride along the way. Let's see how DeMeco Ryans' squad holds up in 2025. So right off the bat, guys, weeks 1 through 5, the Texans got to come out swinging. They got to come out swinging, and they got to swing hard because they got a tough first quarter of the season. Week number 1, they're at LA taking on the Rams. This is a tough draw right out the gate. The Rams defense is still a problem. Matthew Stafford is still a problem, and the Rams are Super Bowl caliber team. I think CJ Stroud gets rattled early, and they lose this game big time, giving them the first loss of the season. And then week number 2, they're back at home. They are in this kind of this bounce back mode, which needs to be activated ASAP because as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come into town, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do get their first loss of the season as the Texans take care of Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, giving them the win. Then week number 3, division games are heated, and the Jacksonville Jaguars edge the Houston Texans in a hard-fought battle. The Texans lose to the Jaguars in week 3. Week number 4, speaking of the Tennessee Titans, Houston finally gets it right on a rebuilding Tennessee Titans team. This one was never in doubt. I think the Texans dominate the Titans early in this week 4 matchup. And then going into week 5, they travel to Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Another game that the Texans just forget to show up. Lamar Jackson is in a groove. The Ravens defense is way too much to handle, and the Texans drop to a frustrating start. So through the first 5 weeks, guys, it is a rocky 2-3 start. Houston is showing flashes, but consistency is still the question. And next up with the bye week coming into week number 6, it is time to get refocused. And week 6 is the perfect time bye week for them after this rough 2-3 start. Now, personally, if it's my team, I do not want a week 5, 6, 7, 8 bye week. Give me the 11, 12, 13, 14 bye weeks, but the Texans need it, and the Texans get a shot to prove they can go toe-to-toe with anyone. Because week 7 through 11, they finally find their identity. They come out swinging, and it is going to be a bloodbath for these teams coming up. Just like for the Seattle Seahawks, week number 7, the Texans come out well-rested, and they roll past the Seattle Seahawks with the crisp offense performance. We're talking about a top 5 offense after this game. But week number 8, they come crashing back down to reality as they play the San Francisco 49ers, and they lose this game. Because the San Francisco 49ers, guys, will be one of the top teams in the NFL, and this was never going to be easy. This is yet another loss. But then, week 9, they finally play some teams that are worth their competition, right? The Denver Broncos, they handle business. CJ Stroud looks sharp, and the defense keeps Denver quiet. They win over the Denver Broncos. And then it's payback time in Houston as the Jacksonville Jaguars come to town, and they beat them. The Houston splits the series and get a key division win over the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 10. And then week 11, they travel to Nashville to take on the Titans in an AFC South opponent with another double, with another W. The Texans are starting to heat up. And now we're talking. The Texans go 4-1 after their bye week, and suddenly they're in the playoff hunt. CJ Stroud is getting more comfortable, and the defense is flying around, and the momentum is building. But then they hit a gauntlet. They hit a gauntlet of a game. Come week number 12, they play Alpha Rob's Buffalo Bills. This is a statement game for the Houston Texans. The Texans go into Buffalo and shock the Buffalo Bills. CJ Stroud outduels Josh Allen in a shootout. The Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills in week 12, but then week 13 comes rolling around. Trap game vibes all over this as they play the Indianapolis Colts. The Texans stumble at home in a divisional letdown game to the Indianapolis Colts. They lose that game. And then week 14, the champs come into town, the AFC champions, and that is the Houston Texans. Actually, they travel to Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. But Patrick Mahomes does Mahomes things, and the Chiefs beat the Texans. Now, it's not perfect, but this stretch proves that the Texans can hang with anybody. They are now 7-6 on the season and still very much alive. But the final stretch will determine everything. Weeks 15 through 18, they need to finish strong or they're going to fold like a baby back bitch. Week number 15, that is what they do. They fold. They lose to the Arizona Cardinals. This one stings. Houston goes flat on the road, and the Arizona Cardinals seal a win. And then back at home versus the Las Vegas Raiders, they get back in rhythm, and the Texans handle the Raiders with playoff energy. Get that dub. But then week number 17, another tough road loss to the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert lights up the scoreboard. I'm thinking 5 tutties. And then season finale, game at home versus the Indianapolis Colts, and the Texans close with a divisional W to keep things respectable. Now, add it all up, guys. I think the Texans will finish 9-8 this season. It's not perfect, but it is competitive. They are resilient, and most importantly, it is still a step forward in the right direction. If CJ Stroud keeps growing, and this team isn't just building a future, they are building a contender. So, guys, is 9-8 too low, too high, or just right? Can CJ Stroud really lead this team back to the postseason for the 3rd straight season, or do they need to add some more pieces still? So, guys, drop your predictions in the comments. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear from you. What is the Texas ceiling in 2025? Guys, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, smash that like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. So let's get into your comments. Derek says, just wait. Just wait. Wait for what, Derek? Wait for what, man? Oh, Shane says, I also think the Texans' O-line will be worse this year because they got rid of Laramie Tunsil, who is one of the best left tackles in the league. Shane, I once thought this. I thought Laramie Tunsil was one of the best offensive linemen, period, in the NFL. But go back and watch his tape. He's not that good. He's got slow feet. He holds a lot. And he has a big name. He has a lot of potential, but lately I just don't see it. I think the Texans got rid of him for a reason. Which I think he got traded to the Commanders, right? The Commanders, they got to score. They're quickly going to find out that he's not that good. Old Man River, we're on the same page yet again.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
9-8 for the Texans. Real McCoy says 8-9 for the Texans. And he says, no way the Texans beat the Buffalo Bills. So, Real McCoy, if this was a playoff game, I would say yes. If we're talking, January, December, that type of game, I would 100% say yes. But the fact that they play in November on a Thursday night, it is tough, right? Because not only do the Bills play the Buccaneers the week before, then they got to travel to Houston on a Thursday night game. That is why I ultimately picked the Texans to beat the Buffalo Bills, is because of their schedule, right? Because if you look at the Buffalo Bills schedule at this particular point, they play the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Buccaneers, and then the Texans, right? Home, away, home, away. and then they're looking for a showdown with the Pittsburgh Steelers the following week. It's kind of like that trap Thursday night game. Think of it when the Detroit Lions traveled to Houston on that Thursday, and the Texans looked like a Super Bowl team in the first half. I can see the Texans putting a complete game together for this time versus the Buffalo Bills. Alpha Rob says the Texans are 9-8. They lucky they in the South. They're extremely lucky they're in the AFC South. They are extremely lucky they're in the AFC South. 100%. They got a lot of gimme wins. Miles says the Houston ceiling is 13 to 14 wins. What? 13 or 14 wins for the Houston Texans? Is that because you have them sweeping the division? 2 wins versus the Colts, 2 wins versus the Titans, 2 wins versus the Jaguars? I mean, there's 6, but after that, who do you got them beating? The Seahawks, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Chargers? Like, even then, that only gives you like 11. Man, you got some big upsets happening. So you got them beating the Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the 49ers. You got them rolling through just about everybody, don't you? Because 14-3, that is a big deal. That is elite. That's a number 1 overall seed. And I just don't see it. But Miles, you might be right. But hey, I was wrong about the Houston Texans last season. I thought they were going to get last place in the division actually last season because I thought the Titans were going to be better. I thought the Colts were going to win the division. I was completely wrong about the AFC South last season. So I studied the AFC South, and I just don't see how they're that good. And Shane says you are about right, Buck. I know, man. I'm always right. I'm kidding. But yeah, 9-8 I feel like that's a pretty nice little happy place there, right? Derek says there's a lot more tape on CJ Stroud. He's going to have to he's going to have to become a superstar to get away from the defensive line. CJ Stroud is quickly becoming a superstar. I agree with that. I think CJ Stroud, the sky is a limit for him. Miles says the Texans already beat them for the season last year, right? So now let's just say that was last year, 2024, not 2025. So, but yeah, history says. Miles says, I'm going to let people know right now. If the Houston's has a middle-of-the-road offensive line, they'll be top 5 in the league. And I would agree with that. Because if they have a decent offensive line, which that is their weakest point, let's just be honest. The offensive line is terrible. They're better than the Broncos. They're better than the Chargers. But they're not better than the Chiefs. They're not better than the Ravens. They're not better than the Bills. They're not better than the Steelers. I mean, top 5 in the league? No, but top 5 in the AFC, I would give you top 5, I guess. Derek says 9 to 10 wins most. Yes, I agree with that, Derek. I agree with that 100%. Old Man River says, you still in love with Richardson? Ever since he tapped himself out? No. Give me some Daniel Jones, baby. Give me some Daniel Jones. Miles says, definitely losses are to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Rams. Throw in the 49ers in there. Alpha Rob says, slow it down, baby. There's no way the Texans are winning 13-14 games. Old Man says, you must be hot. Rossing but yet a challenging schedule. The Indianapolis Colts guys are poised to make a statement. Tonight we'll break down each game as into it. And right off the bat, guys, I think the Indianapolis Colts start strong. They start strong. Weeks 1 through 4, they are amazing. They are playing great football. Week number 1, they play the Miami Dolphins, and that is a dub. The Colts kick off the season at home versus the Dolphins with a solid performance and secure that victory 1-0 to start the season. And then week number 2, back-to-back home games, this time versus the Denver Broncos. And home games give the Colts momentum. They edge out the Broncos in a close contest, but it is still a win, 2-0. Then week number 3, they travel to Nashville against a road divisional rival, and the Colts continue their strong start with a convincing win over the Titans, 3-0. But then they travel to the West Coast. And then they travel to SoFi Stadium. And then they play one of the best teams in the NFL, and that is the Los Angeles Rams. The Colts face a tough Rams team and suffered their first loss of the season. So after first 4 weeks, guys, the Colts stand 3-1 and atop the AFC South. They're showing promise and resilient early in the season. And then weeks 5 through down the Las Vegas Raiders with a solid victory. Another win. And then week number 6, despite home field advantage, the Colts do stumble against a determined Arizona Cardinals squad, a much improved Arizona squad. But then week number 7, they're facing the LA Chargers. On the road proves to be a challenging, and results is another loss. So 2 losses in a row. As they head into week 8, they're back at home, and the Colts regroup, and they secure a key divisional win over the Tennessee Titans. So at the midway point of the season, the Colts right now, guys, are 5-3. They are keeping them in the playoff conversation, and we are talking about the Indianapolis Colts. We're talking about Daniel Jones. We are talking about how good Jonathan Taylor is. We are talking about Pittman. We're talking about that defense. We're talking about rebuild. What? No, guys, the Colts are the real deal. But weeks 9 through 12, international challenging and tough opponents is the name of the game. Week number 9, they have a tough road game in Pittsburgh, and it ends in a narrow defeat for the Indianapolis Colts, giving them a loss. And then week number 10, the international showdown in Berlin. The Colts rise to the occasion, and they defeat the Atlanta Falcons. And then heading into a bye week in week 11, a well-timed bye week, which allows the team to rest and prepare for the final stretch, and a.k.a. prepare for the Kansas City Chiefs. But facing a reigning Super Bowl champ after the bye week. So heading into week 13, guys, right now they're sitting at 6-5. The Colts remain in the hunt, but face a challenging path ahead. They're still in the hunt because the AFC South is terrible. Let's just be honest. But weeks 13 through 18, guys, it is a tough stretch for them. And it's a very, very crucial stretch for them. All they got to do is win 3 out of their last 6, and they probably secured the division. And they start off hot come week 13. A pivotal home game sees the Colts outlast the Houston Texans in a high-stake battle. Key divisional win. And then week number 14, on the road, the Colts deliver a statement win over the division-leading Jacksonville Jaguars. All they got to do is win one more game at this particular point, and they lock up the AFC South. That's all they got to do is win one more game. Week 15, they don't do it. They travel to Seattle, and they lose. Week 16, they don't do it. A Monday Night Football game ends in an appointment, and the 49ers are true to be true strong. Still, they got 2 games to win one more. That's all they got to do is win one more game. Week 17, in a crucial divisional game, the Colts are unable to secure the win at home. Lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then come week 18, the season finale sees the Colts fall to Houston Texans, missing a chance to clinch the division. So the final recap, guys, is I had the Indianapolis Colts going 8-9 this particular season. I think the Colts are showing flashes of brilliance, but falter in key moments by narrowly missing the playoffs. So Colts fans, Man Our Nation, Pigskin pundits, what are your thoughts on this projection? Do you see the team exceeding expectations, or are there concerns about their tough schedule ahead? It is your time to shine, so share your predictions and insights in the comments below, guys. It's a live, interactive show. Your voice matters. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and join us every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Let's keep this conversation going and see what you guys are talking about. Sweet James comes out and says the Colts are going to go 12. Your picks, man, but 12-5? That's the company. You know what, Shane? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. 8-9, 6-6. I would rather the Colts. I would rather the Colts go 6-11. Whoa! Hold my beer. South caliber team. They would be one and done, but I think they could win the South if Anthony Richardson just gives us steady play. It can be steadily bad or steadily good. It just needs to be steady. We want to know what to expect out of him moving forward. That's just what it comes down to. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So, guys, what do you think? Too high, too low for the Indianapolis Colts? Let me know. Now, we do have one team left, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, are gearing up what could be a roller coaster of a 2025 NFL season. This team has some weapons. This team has a quarterback that's looking to finally take the next step forward, and a fan base that is hungry for postseason football. But with the schedule full of contenders and trap games, can the Jaguars stay consistent enough to rise to the top of the AFC South? So, guys, let's go week by week and break it all down. So, weeks 1 through 4, it is shaky, but a promising start, right? Week number 1, they are at home taking on the Carolina Panthers. With the strong victory over the rebuilding Carolina Panthers, this is how you want to set the tone. A victory at home with a new coach, new general manager, and your quarterback taking a step in the right direction. But week number 2, they face a Cincinnati Bengals team that we don't really know what they're going to do, right? This is the same Bengals team, the offensive-wise, that went to the Super Bowl just a few years ago. But this is also the same team that gave up 300-plus yards a game last season, right? But the Jaguars face a fully loaded Bengals squad. Burrow and company proved to be too much. Give me a loss. Week number 3, this one matters. A key divisional game, and the Jaguars can bounce back, and they beat the Houston Texans. I like it. But then week number 4, they have a physical test against one of the NFC toughest teams, the San Francisco 49ers. The Jacksonville Jaguars do come up short. So through the first quarter, guys, of the season, I see the Jaguars sitting at 2-2, beating who they should, but struggling against elite opponents. That's kind of be the name of the game moving forward. But then week 5 through 8, the gauntlet continues, because week number 5, they do play the best team in the AFC, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. But I see an upset. I see an upset brewing, as this is the kind of upset that shifts the season. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars shock the Kansas City Chiefs in a statement home win. I think they get the dub. But then week number 6, the Seattle Seahawks. Flying high after beating the Kansas City Chiefs, the Jaguars hit a tough environment in Seattle and crash back down to earth. Give me a loss. And then they play yet another tough NFC opponent, one of the best AFC teams out there, the Los Angeles Rams. This is a mishap, and the Jaguars dropped to 3-4 on the season. Week number 8 is time to rest, time to regroup, and fix the inconsistency. Welcome to the bye week. So at the halfway mark, guys, I do have the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at 3-4, entering into their bye week. Flashes of greatness, but still searching for their identity. Are they a passing team? Are they a running team? Or are they a defensive team? We don't really know, because every game we see a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So week 9 through 12, they fight to stay alive. So coming off the bye week, the Jaguars look flat on the road, losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then week number 10, this one stings. Losing a home divisional, losing at home to the Houston Texans, especially to a divisional rival, puts serious pressure on playoff chances. They lose to the Houston Texans. And then week number 11, they do beat the LA Chargers out west again, and they deliver game and get a massive road win. But then week 12 consistently still eludes them, and following a big win with another frustrating defeat as they lose to the Arizona Cardinals. So with 6 games to go, guys, the Jacksonville Jaguars are sitting at 5-6. It's not over yet, but there's room, but there's no more rooms for letdowns. They almost need to be perfect to end the season, and that's exactly what they do. They finish strong. They finished strong with the Week 13 win over the Tennessee Titans. This one's personal, right? The Jaguars protect their own house, and they get revenge on the Tennessee Titans. And then week number 14, they do lose to the Indianapolis Colts, but it's just a tough road game, a tough road environment. But week 15, they end the losing streak. They beat the Jets at home. Week 16, they beat the Denver Broncos. Week 17, they get their revenge win over the Indianapolis Colts. And Week 18, they end the season on a 4-game losing streak with the win over the Tennessee Titans. So, guys, I think the Jaguars close out the season with winning 4 of their last 5, finishing 9-8. That late season surge pushed them right in the thick of the AFC playoff picture, and this team is far from perfect, but they're building something. So, Duval fans, do you guys believe in this team? Can they make a playoff push in 2025? or just another streaky season under their, I guess this time, a new head coach. Like, are they a one and done? Guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and be sure to hit the like button as well. With the old whistle with the W hydration. Darcy's in the chat says, you're good at dreaming. What am I dreaming about, Darcy? Like, what am I dreaming about? Let's just be honest. Real McCoy says the Jaguars go 7-10. So Real McCoy does not like Trevor Lawrence? Guys, Trevor Lawrence's claim to fame is coming back from a 28-point playoff. No, did they lose that playoff game? Trevor Lawrence is just overrated. For Trevor Lawrence, I think it is shit or get off the pot time. It's simple as that. You need a shit or get off the pot time. It is what it is. Darcy is saying Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. In that order, winning the division. We will talk about the power rankings here momentarily. So slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Shane says, I think they go 7-10. Their defense needs a lot of work. Hey, but they got Travis Hunter. So, yes, Shane, I do agree. The Jaguars' defense does have a lot of holes, but they do have a lot of bright points. Josh Hines-Allen is a complete monster. If Josh Hines-Allen is able to get 15, 16, 17 sacks and get consistent pressure on that quarterback, Travis Hunter has the opportunity to get some interceptions. It could be a lot of momentum shift for them. But yes, their defense does need a lot of work. Alpha Rob is saying 8-9 as well. Okay, I see it. I can see it. We differ in one game. But hey, that one game could be a conference championship and a division berth, or missing the playoffs with just a high, with just a low. But their defense is trash. They won't be able to stop teams from dropping 28 plus points on them. It's facts are facts, right, guys? The facts are facts. Defense wins championships still. Derek says, how many games do you have in the New England Patriots winning? Derek, tune in. It would be Monday. Monday, we'll be breaking down the AFC East. So tune in there, and we will talk about the New England Patriots. Alpha Rob says he needs to cut that damn hair. And you're a balding middle-aged man, just like me. Shane says true, he's a beast of a pass rusher. Yes, Josh Hines-Allen is a beast. I loved him in Kentucky. It's a shame that he went to the Jaguars to kind of like piss away half of his career. But, yeah, it is what it is. How do the Jaguars play in New England? They play in Germany, right? They play in Germany. I think they play well because the Jaguars always play overseas well. I think the Jaguars have the best winning record overseas, right? Weren't they like 9-8 or 8-7 or something? I don't know. It is what it is. But yes, they do play well overseas. But guys, let's go ahead and hit the recap. Where is the... There we go. So, where are we at? So guys, this is not your same AFC South that we're used to, right? This is not the Texans division anymore. I think the 2025 season flips the script, and the crown might finally be staying in Jacksonville. So after breaking down every single game, the Colts, Titans, Jaguars, and Texans, guys, the picture is clear. The AFC South has one true leader, one playoff hopeful, and two teams heading in opposite directions. So guys, let's break down the way too early power rankings for the AFC South. So coming in at number 4, I do have the Tennessee Titans. I think they are the worst team in this division. I think they will finish at the bottom and finish 2-15. And this is a rough one. The Titans guys are simply on life support. 11 straight losses to start the season, and even when they finally notch wins against the Seahawks and Saints, it's too little too late. This team is battling not for the playoff positions, but for the number 1 overall pick yet again in 2026. They have no identity, they have no rhythm, and not much hope on either side of the ball. This rebuild is deeper than most fans expected. They need a complete rehaul at the end of the day. But then coming in at number 3, in the AFC power rankings. I do have the Indianapolis Colts. I have them finishing at 8-9 this season. After a hot 5-2 start, had them the team looked like the team to beat, but then they absolutely collapsed in the month of December. 4 straight losses to end the season, including back-to-back divisional games in weeks 17 and 18, cost them the AFC South and a playoff berth. They had their shot. All they had to do was win one divisional game late, and they couldn't do it. Anthony Richardson, yet again, shows flashes, but a team still needs to learn how to finish. That is the biggest key for the Indianapolis Colts in 2025, is to learn how to finish. And then the second-ranked team will be the Houston Texans. I have them at 8-9. So, guys, the Houston takes the two spot, and yes, I do think they will make the playoffs with 9 wins for the 3rd straight season. CJ Stroud puts together yet another strong season and leads the Texans to key victories over the Broncos, Jaguars, Titans, Bills, and Raiders. They finish strong and they sneak into a wild card spot, but let's just be real. I feel like they're a one and done if they make the playoffs. The talent is there, the coaching is sound, but there's not quite ready to make noise in January. Still, that arrow is pointing up in Houston. And then the number 1 team, the AFC South champs, per headbreaker tie, is Jacksonville Jaguars at 9-8. That's right, guys. Despite a mid-season rough patch, they rally, winning the 4 of the last five games, and in those clutch divisional games late, push them over the top. This team handles business when it matters most. Trevor Lawrence shows leadership, and the coaching squad and the new general manager are ready to get back to the postseason. Lean them, right? With the 9-8 finish, they win the division and host a playoff game in Duval. It's not flashy, but it is enough. So based on my predictions, right, this is how I think the AFC South will finish. The number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 2, the Houston Texans. Number 3, the Indianapolis Colts. And number 4, the Tennessee Titans, which are in full rebuild mode eyeing the 2026 NFL Draft. So, guys, is Jacksonville finally in full control of the AFC South, or are the Texans ready to take back over? What went wrong in Indy and Tennessee? Guys, drop your AFC South power rankings in the comments. Live interactive show, guys. Let me know what you think. Derek says, did you count your win-loss record from last year? All those teams for the season. So I do have all of my win-loss records from last season. In the AFC South, I'm not going to lie, I was completely wrong. I thought the Texans were going to be a middle of the road team, 7, 8, 9 wins. I thought the Colts or the Jaguars were going to win the division, and the Titans had a nice fighting shot with like Will Levis at the helm. Completely wrong about the AFC South. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but everything else I was pretty much spot on. I was about 90% last season with my picks, but this offseason I dove into the AFC South. I spent more time on the AFC South than any other division in football because I was so embarrassed at how my AFC South picks went last season. Shane says, number 1 will be the Tennessee Titans, and then the Texans, Jaguars, and then the Colts. My final predictions could be wrong. Listen, it's way too early, Shane. It's May, brother. We still have 3 months. Once the 2.5 months hits, once OT hits, once preseason hits, then we'll come back and revisit this, right? And Derek's like, Duval. Leland Cohen was Duval. Miles says Houston is winning the division, and he has the Houston Texans, Jaguars, Titans, and then the Colts. Man, that is a damn near complete opposite of what I have. I don't think we have one team the same. Miles is pretty high on the Titans. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty high on the Titans. Shane says, very true, my friend. Very, very true. Yeah, guys, guys, this is way too early. Let's just be flat and honest. The draft just happened. OTA just started, yesterday, two days ago. This is way too early to be talking about this shit, but you know what? We love talking about it. And we're going to talk about it because it is time for a little bit of Inferno Thursday. But yes, I know it's Friday because last night I had to take a major poop and we had to end the show right here, right now. So guys, hour number 2 of Man Hour in NFL Talk. It is time for Inferno Thursday on a Friday. So guys, welcome to Inferno Thursday, the hottest takes in football. This is the weekly segment where the heat gets turned up and the takes get scorching. Every Thursday night, even though it's Friday, we throw some caution. We throw caution into the wind and drop bold, unfiltered opinions on everything happening around the NFL world. From controversial player rankings to exposing the game predictions in the front office criticism. Thursday Inferno, guys, is where football hottest debates take center stage. No safe takes, no sugarcoating, just pure, passionate football talk designed to spark discussion and challenge the status quo. Whether you agree or you think we've lost our minds, it's all a part of the fire, baby. So welcome to Inferno Thursday. So guys, right here on the first Inferno Thursday of the year, we are going to talk about the scorching takes and the truth bombs hotter than the Florida training camp in August. Tonight, guys, I am done playing neutral. I've held my tongue long enough. I've listened to both sides, and I've tried to see the good in this thing, but no more, baby. The tush push is the worst play in football. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. The tush push is the worst play in football, and it is time the NFL gets its act together and bans it for good. Now, let's call it what it is. It is a cheat code. It is a loophole designed as strategy. A rumby scrumble shoved into America's game. And it's embarrassing. I don't care how many speeches Jason Kelce gave. I don't care that he walked into the room in loafers with no socks on like he was scrolling through the country club brunch. The man literally joked he'd come out of retirement if all he had to do was run the tush push plays all day, because it is that easy. It's not football. That's not competition. That's a gimmick. And you know what's worse? It's a gimmick that works too well. The Eagles alone ran 108 tush pushes since 2022, 34% of the entire league's attempts. And they've scored or converted on 87% of them. You know what crazy that is? That's not all about grit or play design. That's exploration. Look, I'm not mad that the Eagles found something that works. I'm mad that the league is letting them get away with it. The NFL competition committee had no chance to end this madness. The Green Bay Packers even rewrote the rule proposal to broaden the language. No pushing, no pulling, just block like a real offense should. And guess what? They still couldn't get 24 votes. 22-10. That's how close we came to fixing this joke of a play. 2 jokes short. Why? Because Jeffrey Lurie and Jason Kelce spent an hour putting on a PowerPoint presentation like it was Shark Tank. Because people get swept up by this nostalgic feeling inside of facing the facts. This is why I'm mad. It's because it's not just about the Eagles. It's about keeping the game fair. It's about letting offenses line up and lining up with like battering rams with a guaranteed first down every time it's 4th and 1. Defense can't stop it. Refs can't fairly officiate it. And worst of all, it's boring. There, I said it. Football is supposed to be unpredictable. It's about matchups, explorations, play calling under pressure, not squat and shove. It's all about watching a dog tug of war at a backyard barbecue. And let's not forget, this wasn't some harmless novelty. The NFL knows there's a problem. Rick McKay, the competition committee chairman, said it himself. There's a bunch of teams and committees that support the ban. It will be talked about again. When they talk about it now. Why don't they fix it now? Why wait until more teams adopt it? Until we have 12 games a week, ending in human avalanche at the line of scrimmage? And the people saying, well, it's not even 1% of the total plays. Well, that's because only a few good teams are good at it. The moment more teams figure out, when teams like the Buffalo, San Francisco 49ers, or the Kansas City Chiefs start dialing up, you better believe that number is going to rise. The integrity of the short yards football is on the line. And we're just going to let it slide? Guys, I'm playing the flag tonight. The tush push is a trash play. It's not clever. It's not tough. It's a technicality that turns 4th and 1 into a formality. The NFL had a chance to act. They failed. And now we're stuck watching offensive lines turn into human battering rams while defense is getting ran over like speed bumps. So yeah, this is my official stance. Ban the push forever. But I want to know where you stand. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the tush push is a creative tactic that should stay in the game? Or do you agree it's time to bury this garbage and play for good? Guys, hit the subscribe button. And remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right at youtube.com/menouts. Now, guys, this is a live interactive show, so get your comments in and sound off with the hottest takes. Let's get into the comments and discuss your thoughts. Is it time to kill the push, or am I just too fired up about nothing? Guys, let's talk. Let's talk about it. Next up here on the Tush Push. Next up here on the Tush Push. Jeez. All right, guys, so next up here on Thursday Inferno, the Brock Purdy contract. Let's dive right into it. Guys, Brock Purdy just signed a 5-year, $265 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers, making him the highest paid player in franchise history and tying him with Jared Goff with the 7th highest salary in the league. But here's the thing. He didn't earn it. Yes, I said it. Brock Purdy should have not been paid that much. Simple, point blank. Now, before Brock Purdy apologists start flooding the comments, let's get one thing clear. This isn't about hating the guy. His story, it's inspirational. Last pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, NFC Championship appearance, even a Super Bowl run, the guy has done more than anybody expected. But that's also the part of the problem. Expectations have inflated his value far beyond what his actual tape and role the system justify. Guys, let's just be honest. He is a system quarterback. Kyle Shanahan's offense made Jimmy G look elite. Nick Mullins had stretches where he looked like a franchise guy. So why is it so hard to admit that Purdy is just another guy excurting a finely tuned script? The numbers may look clean, but watch the film. Purdy is rarely creating off script, rarely elevating weapons, and he hasn't shown that he can put a team on his back when things break down. In fact, in the Super Bowl loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, Purdy's limitations were exposed. Once the running game stalled and the pass rush kicked in, he shrank. And now the 49ers have hamstrung themselves financially, as $265 million includes $181 million in guarantees and a full no-trade clause. While Purdy and his camp try to spin this as a team-friendly deal, coming in under 19% of the salary cap, the reality is the Niners just locked themselves into quarterback mediocrity at prime price. This is a team that was on edge of greatness. Elite defense, elite weapons, smart coaching, but now you got major extensions going out to George Kittle, Fred Warner, and now Brock Purdy. Good players, no doubt about it. But this is how Super Bowl windows get closed. Not in a fiery crash, but in a quiet, careful budget overreaches. Let's not forget, guys, that the San Francisco 49ers finished 6-11 last season. Purdy was banged up, yes, but even when healthy, he didn't move the needle in the way a $53 million a year quarterback should. You want that kind of money? You better have carried a team when things get tough. You better elevate, just not survive. Guys, Purdy, he just played his part. He played it well, but just a part. And for all that, the Niners are now paying the price, literally. My take, this moves ends the 49ers Super Bowl window. They committed long-term to a quarterback whose ceiling may have already been reached. And while the locker room loves him and the story sells and the stories don't win championships, playmakers do. Difference makers do. And Brock Purdy, he's not that. So, guys, do you think Brock Purdy deserves that $265 million contract? Or did the 49ers just sabotage their Super Bowl window? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, guys, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams on this Thursday Inferno. Where's the music? Get the music. Caleb Williams on this Thursday Inferno. Yes, I know it's Friday. But, guys, let's just stop pretending the Bears fans. Let's stop pretending, Bears fans. Bears fans, stop pretending. It doesn't matter if Ben Johnson, Matt Eberflus, Matt Nagy, or Santa Claus is calling the plays from the sidelines. The Chicago Bears are flat out cursed when it comes to quarterback position. We're talking about a franchise that had one 4,000-yard passer in its entire history, and it wasn't even Jay Cutler. It wasn't Justin Fields, and I promise you it will not be Caleb Williams either. Because here's the harsh truth. Flaming truth for this week's Thursday Inferno. The Chicago Bears will never, ever develop an elite quarterback. That's not a hyperbole. That's not some hot take for clips. That's a historical fact. It's a generational incompetent. You could hand them Patrick Mahomes, even if he didn't deserve it. According to Seth Witcherman's latest book of America's King, Caleb wanted the Vikings. His dad flat out said Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. And honestly, he's right. If you're a quarterback in Chicago, your ceiling is surviving the season with your soul intact. Williams spent most of his rookie year watching film alone. No coach in the room, no support. His offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, got canned mid-season. Not that it made much of a difference. The Bears were a 5-12 disaster, as usual. Caleb Williams was begging the coaching staff for accountability like a 5-star recruit stuck in a community college film room. That's not development, that's negligence. Ben Johnson, the new head coach, formerly the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, says he's excited to change the narrative. Well, congratulations, coach. You've officially joined the most prestigious graveyard of quarterback dreams. Because here's the deal. It's not just the coach. It's just not the front office. It's the entire organization. It's the city of Chicago. From the ownership to the plumbing, the Chicago Bears built to sabotage quarterback talent. You want proof? Every single time there's a chance to finally get right under center, they find a way to ruin it. Kay McCown, Rex Ghostman, Jay Cutler, Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, and now Caleb Williams. The name changed, the ending stays the same. They draft raw guys and they don't development. They sign veterans and they don't protect them. They switch schemes like a guy flipping channels on a broken remote. All through all of it, the fans are left hoping, praying, dreaming for something they'll never have. A top-tier, franchise-defining quarterback. So here's the infernal level truth, guys. It doesn't matter who Caleb Williams is. It doesn't matter who Ben Johnson is. It doesn't matter who the GM is or the owner is. The Chicago Bears will never have an elite quarterback. Not in 2025, not in 2030, not in our lifetime. Some franchises are built on success. The Bears are built to waste it. So, guys, do you believe that Caleb Williams can finally break the Bears quarterback curse, or is history just going to repeat itself in Chicago? That's the question. That is the question. But now, guys, it's time for a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. All right, guys, so as we start to wind down the show, we're not quite done yet. There's a time for a final segment. It's fact or crap. So, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to throw out some statements, some facts that have been floating around the NFL world, and it's up to us to decide. Is it a solid fact, or is it just a bunch of crap? We're going to celebrate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's really worth believing. If it's legit, we're all about it. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it out. So, guys, grab your popcorn because we're about to get real. It's fact or just a whole lot of crap. Let's find out. So, guys, the first crap of the night is going to reflect about Garrett Wilson. Guys, Garrett Wilson has been one of the few bright spots in a dark cloud for the Jets football the last few seasons. Since entering the league, he's become the go-to guy in New York. Last season alone, 101 catches for 1,104 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not bad for a guy who's been catching passes from a revolving door at quarterback and surviving the weekly chaos that is the New York Jets offense. Despite the dysfunction, Wilson has continued to rise, and now entering his 4th year, the Jets have picked up his 5th-year options and stated light discussions about long-term deal. So that leads us into today's fact or crap question, guys. Fact or crap? Will Garrett Wilson become a New York Jet for life? So let me be real with y'all right here. No sugarcoating, no BS, no hype around it. This is complete crap. All of it. Yeah, Garrett Wilson is saying all the right things. Hopefully, I'm a Jet for life. And all of our best days are ahead of us, yada, yada, yada. But we weren't born yesterday, Garrett Wilson. We saw this play out in real time last season. Body language, bad. Sideline demeanor, frustrated. All those scripted, passive, aggressive comments. Let's not pretend he wasn't quietly planting the seed for a way out if Aaron Rodgers returned. And that's the key, Rodgers. There was real tension between them. They didn't click. The vibe was off. Rodgers was a celebrity quarterback. Wilson, he just wanted none of it. There were already whispers that he was gearing up to push to push for a trade if Rodgers returned in 2025. The only reason we're not seeing those fireworks is now because Aaron Rodgers is out. And Justin Fields, Wilson's college buddy from Ohio State, is in. Wilson trusts Fields. He respects Aaron Glenn. So right now, everything is all sunshine and rainbows. But let's not pretend that this new energy isn't conditional. If the Jets stumble again, if Fields get hurt, if Glenn's staff doesn't deliver, if the losing streak continues, you think Wilson's going to be wanting to hang around there? Nah. This man already shown that he has a diva switch, and it doesn't take much to flip it. He is a top-tier receiver in the NFL. He's going to want to get paid like it. He's going to want to win. And if the Jets can't offer both, he'll be looking for an exit. Just like every other star stuck in a franchise stuck in the mud. So let me say it again for the people in the back. Will Garrett Wilson be a New York Jet for life? It is complete crap. But what do you guys think? Is Wilson committed long-term to the Jets, or just a waiting game before he demands out? Let's get into the comments down below. Alpha Rob is saying crap. He's saying crap. Garrett Wilson, you will not be a Jet for life. Sorry, brother. Not going to happen. He's going to go to the Buffalo Bills. Derek says, fact. He feels that get rid of Rodgers for him. They didn't get rid of Aaron Rodgers for him. They got rid of Aaron Rodgers because he just wasn't the man, the myth, the legend anymore. And Derek says, because Aaron Rodgers brought his crew. He did bring his crew. But at the end of the day, he asked to be traded if Aaron Rodgers came back. He was going to ask to be traded, right? Don't know if he actually did. It's all rumors, right? Oh, rumors and this and whatever else. It is what it is. Next up, guys, here on the Factor Crap, Rashad Bateman. After a rocky start to his career, dealing with injuries in year 1 and 2, Rashad Bateman finally put together a full season, a productive season in 2024. He hauled in 45 catches for 756 yards and 9 touchdowns, all career highs. On top of that, he recorded 35 first downs, which is actually a big deal in Baltimore, where the passing game traditionally runs through tight ends and Lamar Jackson's legs. So, guys, Rashad Bateman was a true wide receiver 2 last season, quietly stepping up behind Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, while still carving out big enough role to help Lamar hit new heights as a passer. In fact, in the first time ever in Lamar's career that 3 different Ravens pass catchers caught 30-plus first downs. That's just not stat padding, guys. That is a clutch production. But now with Devontae Adams in town, Bateman's role could be overshadowed yet again. Which brings us to today's, guys, Factor Crap. So, guys, Factor Crap. Is Rashad Bateman the most underappreciated player in the NFL? Listen, guys. Bateman had a solid season. He did what was asked of him. He played his role, but let's not confuse that for being the most underappreciated guy in the league. His job is to be the unsung hero. That's the design. He's not the wide receiver 1. He's not the centerpiece of the offense. And in Baltimore, that's never going to be a wide receiver anyway. Let's just be honest. So, guys, I am calling crap. You want to talk about underappreciated receiver in the NFL, or players in the NFL in general, let's talk about Jalen Waddle, who's quietly putting up elite numbers behind Tyreek Hill and still doesn't get any recognition. Or how about this? Let's talk about Devontae Smith, who's been a consistent playmaker in Philly while A.J. Brown grabs the spotlight. Even Nico Collins in Houston had a breakout year and helped CJ Stroud look like a seasoned vet, but yet no one outside of Houston has talked about him the way they should. God, Rashad Bateman's not getting any disrespect. He's just not being elevated to a level he hasn't earned yet. He's a key piece in Baltimore, no doubt about it, but he's not carrying that offense, and he's not a top-tier receiver in the league right now. So let me say it again. Factor crap. Is Rashad Bateman the most underappreciated player in the NFL? I'm saying crap. But what do you guys think? Is Rashad Bateman more valuable than he gets credit for, or are the other guys flying way further under the radar? Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here, youtube.com/manhour. It's a live, interactive show, so comment down below to join the conversation. Derek says, what year is he going into? He's going into his fourth year. Going into his fourth year. Fourth year into the NFL, Derek. But Derek's saying crap. Derek, who is the more undervalued player in the NFL? I gave you a couple. Jalen Waddle. Devontae Smith. I would even say Deebo Samuel. Interesting thoughts. But guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for the day. All right, folks, so let's wrap it up before the clock runs out on your favorite football guru, guys. Just a reminder, just because I pick your team to flop in 2025 doesn't mean it will happen. I mean, miracles do happen, right? Maybe your team will defy the laws of physics and win every game. Stranger things have happened. Let me be wrong, but let's be real, guys. I was right 90% of the time last season. Yeah, that's right. 90% of the time. You can thank me later. I nailed the Raiders losing 9 games in a row. Talk about streaks that made fans cry into their nachos. I was spot on about the Kansas City Chiefs winning the division yet again. But hey, why fix what's wrong? The Rams, call them dark horses. Yep, I said it before anybody else dared. And the Jaguars, oh yeah, the Jaguars were a dumpster fire. I didn't even need to bring up the hose. So if you're upset about about my picks this season, just remember, my track record is basically the prophecy. You didn't want me to be desperately need, but hey, it's football. And if your team pulls a surprise, I'll be here, popcorn and hand, and ready to join the chaos. But guys, thank you for tuning in. And remember, take my picks seriously, but not too seriously. Otherwise, you might miss out on the funds when we go sideways. We out, guys.